The Go-Giver, a little story about a powerful business idea. This book was a recommendation from a great friend and a colleague, Evan, who is CEO of WeBuild. It's a company I feel very lucky to be working with, and this was a wonderful book for us to read. In fact, we've gone ahead and gotten the book for everybody in the company, and I've bought several copies right behind me that I'm giving to family and friends and colleagues. So you can see I've been reading a lot of books this year, and this is one of the easiest and most fun that I've read so far. It's short and it's simple. It's a business parable, so it's a story featuring a gentleman named Joe who runs into a mentor named Pindar and 5 other people throughout the course of a week that teach him some incredible lessons. And the book is based on these 5 laws of stratospheric success, which I really enjoyed. They're a ton of fun, and I think they're exactly right. They're wonderful ideas and ideals and principles that everyone can live by and will not only bring you more success and more happiness, but also more influence in your work. So they're here in the book, and they're explained throughout the book in these wonderful stories. But I'd like to go through them a little bit, and in the workbook that I have along with this video, I put a couple lessons and a couple exercises that you can go through. Whether you have time to read this book or not, I think these exercises can be really helpful for you. I highly recommend you check out this book. Adam Grant, author of Give and Take, which I've also read and loved, said, "The Go-Giver is the most important parable about business and life of our time." It's a pretty huge statement coming from Adam, and I think it's a fantastic book. Before I share what the 5 laws of stratospheric success are, I want to share this little quote for you that I think is really fun. "Most people just laugh when they hear that the secret to success is giving. Then again, most people are nowhere near as successful as they wish they were." So let's talk about the 5 laws of stratospheric success for a second, and then I'm going to jump over to the workbook so we can talk about how you can apply these lessons in your life. So the first law of stratospheric success is the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Let me say it again. The law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So the idea here is that we are always giving value every day. Sometimes not so much, sometimes a lot. The idea behind the first law, the first rule for stratospheric success, is if you're always thinking about the value that you're creating for others and thinking, how can I give more to the people that are around me? How can I give more in this project or in this business deal or in my organization? And you don't worry about how you're going to get compensated for it, then that's going to add to your true worth and the worth that you're bringing to the work that you do and the relationships that you're in. This is the first law, and it's built upon with the next ones. So the second law is the law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So the first law was about the true worth and the value that you're bringing, but it wasn't thinking about how much you get paid and trying to line up your value with your payment that you're getting. In the second law, it's talking about compensation now and explaining that your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So if you want your income to increase, then you need to increase the amount of people you serve and how well you serve them. So there's some wonderful stories inside this book that explain that, but I think it's a pretty simple concept. So if you're creating tremendous value for others, that might not directly connect to compensation, and that's okay. The more you create value, more likely the more compensation you'll get. But in the second law, it's specifically talking about your income. And if you want more income, you need to serve more people or serve them better. So this is one of the worksheet activities that we have, the exercise, thinking about how many people do you serve and how could you serve them better. So for instance, you might be working in an organization where you have a direct impact on a small group of people. And that's fantastic. You can create tremendous value for them. But what if you took the lessons that you were sharing in that small group and you used something like video online, or creating a worksheet that you can share with people all around your region or around the country? Then the amount of people that you're serving and how well you serve them can dramatically increase, potentially exponentially increase. And more than likely, your compensation would increase too, possibly from your organization, seeing how much impact you're having on others, or maybe from the community that loves what you're creating, is paying you for it, or is giving you donations, or you can think creatively about how you might get more compensation based on how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So that's the second law, the law of compensation. The third law is the law of influence. So your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. This is really interesting. So how abundantly do you place other people's interests first? This is similar to the idea of service. So if you want more influence, you need to place other people's interests first. And if you want more influence, you need to do that more abundantly. So potentially more people, or the same amount of people, but in a bigger way. So let's think about an example for a second. No doubt you're working in an organization and working with people, and it's easy to wonder, well, what's in it for me, or how can I benefit from this situation? But if you think creatively about the people around you and how you can help them more, and ask yourself, what could I be doing to serve these people better and serve them more and put their interests in front of mine, that will inherently take care of them, and more than likely, they'll be wanting to take care of you. And that's the interesting thing about the law of influence. The more you give away that interest and that influence to others, the more it comes back to you. The fourth law is the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. Let me say it again. The law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. In the book, there's a wonderful story about a real estate agent who was trying all the tricks and had learned all the different ways that she's supposed to be making sales. But she wasn't being herself. She wasn't being honest with others about who she really was and the normal things that she was going through. And she was at the end of her rope, and then she decides, you know what, I'm just out of this. I'm done. I've been trying this for a year. I haven't made a sale, and I'm just going to give up. And it was when she decided to give up and just be herself in this final sale, and she thought, there's no way I'm going to sell this house. I haven't been able to. And she was honest. She was herself. She was fun and funny. It kind of put all of her hopes and dreams to the side and was just focused on having a fun experience with the person she was with. Then she ended up making the sale. This idea that when we are truly ourselves and we're honest with others, like for instance me, I could sit here for days trying to make this whole scene perfect, but I decided it'd be better just to go ahead and be honest with you. I'm excited to tell you about this book and not try to make it perfect and have the perfect camera and microphone and all of that, but focus on making it a great experience for you and sharing great content with you from a book that I've loved. By being yourself and being authentic, you are providing others with the most valuable gift you have. The last law is the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is staying open to receive. This is interesting, and this is a law that my dad actually taught me a long time ago, and it's kind of counterintuitive. The key to effective giving is staying open to receiving. So often we can be givers and we can want to help others and want to serve others, and that's great, but what if they want to help us? What if they want to serve us? It's easy to say, oh, well, I can help you, but I'm fine. I don't want you to help me, and I don't really need any help, even though we really do. And this is the idea that if you really want to be a giver, one of the best ways you can do that is asking others for help. People want to be helpful. People want to help you. And if you don't let them, if you don't give them an opportunity to, then you're stopping them from having the same wonderful experience you're wanting to have. So by being receptive and being open to others helping you, this is one of the best ways that you can give to others. So asking for advice, asking for help, thinking of creative ways to share and work together. Those are just some examples of how you can be more receptive and actually end up giving more by helping others give to you. So in our worksheet that I included, I shared some of these laws and I think some fun ways to think about how you might apply them today, because these are very real things that I think could really be helpful to you. And I want to figure out ways to make it really helpful to you today. So check those out. I hope you really enjoy the worksheet. Again, this is a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. I bought several copies. I have it on ebook. I have the real book. So it was a ton of fun for me to read. I hope you really enjoy it. And thanks for coming over and sitting by the fire with me, listening to a great book. And I hope you have a lot of fun reading it. And I look forward to sharing a new book with you soon. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.